Winkle Travels. We have been doing some shorts, but we've just been too busy to do the longer videos. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to kind of catch you up. When we came across, I think we went to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in the United States. There were canola fields everywhere. They were so beautiful. And lots of antelope and bees. Lots of beehive or bee homes. In North Dakota, it was the land of opportunity, it said, in Belfield, North Dakota. Lots of sheep farms. And then in northern Montana, there was a car every 10 to 15 minutes. Camped at night, that night at Fort Peck, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Then we were on to Canada. We crossed the border at Wild Horse in Montana, and the border crossing was super easy, super friendly, and it just wonderful. Couldn't say anything. So all of my little tomato tomatoes that I ate so I didn't have to throw them out, I probably could have saved them, but I didn't. We ate them all. And but he was very nice, and he came to my side after he did our license plate, and he asked where we were from, where we were going, and how long we were going to be in Canada, and do you have any guns or weapons. And that was it. I told him I had bear spray, and that was it. So it was super easy. Coming across South Canada, we got on the Red Coat Trail. And once again, there was lots of canola fields, and we saw a few antelope. Then we stayed on that Red Coat Trail for some time. We were headed to Fairmont Hot Springs, and we traveled on the Crow's Nest. The Crow's Nest had lots of animal corridors, and we looked and looked, and we didn't see anything. We did see a mule deer. At the Fairmont Resort, we saw, it was very crowded, and we stayed there that night in the campground and went to the pool. And the one pool that I wanted to go to that was more natural in the rocks was blocked off. I don't know why, but the hot springs itself, well, it was just like a hot tub in a big swimming pool. So to me, nothing to write home about. There were lots of kids, and I mean, as we were coming in to park at the RV park, they just cut right in front of us, and on their bicycles, and one actually crashed, and oh well, we didn't check on him or anything. He had other kids with him though. Then we got up the next morning, ate our breakfast, and went to Radium and Banff. Well, Radium Hot Springs, once again, was a swimming pool. It was on the side of the hill. It was a hot tub and a big swimming pool. It was very crowded. Then we went on to Banff. Oh my. If you've ever been to Park City, Utah, it was a lot like that. It had shops. It was wall-to-wall shops on the bottom, condos on the top, and lots of people. And they were going to have a big parade this Saturday for Canadian Day. And anyway, but there was lots of people. We did on the outskirts of town, by accident, kinda. We saw a herd of elk out in the meadow. Then we headed to back out, and it was raining that day, so the gondolas weren't going, and it was very foggy and cloudy, so I didn't get to do that, but that's okay. Then we headed to Jasper National Park. Now, these are all part of the Canadian Rockies. And let me tell you, it had, I think, the most gorgeous waterfall I've ever seen. Make sure you check out the shorts, because I just put my snap pictures in a short and let them play through. But if you look at Tangle Creek, it was absolutely the most gorgeous waterfall. And Tommy hiked up to it, and he stood in the middle and waved at us. So you could probably see a picture of him waving. Before we got there, there was the, I think it was before, I can't remember if it was before or after, but we had the glass walkout off the mountain, and then and that was very cool. It's high, so it was nice. And then we went on, and it was getting later in the evening, and we wanted to eat and cook marshmallows and sausage dogs over a fire. So we stopped at a place called Honeymoon Lake Campground. Well, it was an absolute gorgeous lake with the mountains on both sides, and it was very nice and very pleasant. Very, very clean facilities. Very clean. And then we got up and had our coffee and breakfast, and drove on to Jasper. There, it was very, very sad. The Jasper fires were very sad. Went into town, and some of the places in town had gotten burned. Gas stations were like 2, and only 1 diesel, and there was a long line. Tommy had to wait like an hour because of the fires had burned, and so we had to wait for that. Heading to Dawson Creek, we saw a bear. Yes, that's right. We saw a bear. And it was just running along the side of the road beside us. It was really pretty. And the coat was just shiny black, and he was already, or she, they were already plump. So it was gorgeous. I have a short video of that, but I almost missed him because by the time we stopped, he went behind us, and he just kind of crossed the road, and I didn't get a very good shot of him. But then we went on through Fort St. John, and we saw another bear. We stayed, and I got good pictures. And it wasn't even troubled by us. It wanted to just keep eating. We stopped right beside it, and it didn't pay us any mind. He just strolled and ate. Then we stayed last night at Prophet Airstrip. Very quiet place. It was very pleasant. We got up and we ate this morning at was that Fort Nelson? There was a river there, and we ate at Fort Nelson. We did see a couple of golden eagles, probably looking for food. We ate supper last night before we stopped at Pink Mountain, and it was good. And let me say something. There was a lot of drilling rig workers there, and they were young kids. They were like 20 years old, and I just want to give them a shout out, because those kids that are working really hard during the day, they were eating that night, and they were very, very polite. You could hear their conversations, and they were talking very polite. Just want to give them a shout out. Other than that, we are in the northern Rockies, and I thought maybe we might see something. We've already seen an elk. It was just stopped on the road, and before I started filming, and then it had to move on. And then we saw another elk, and then there was supposed to be some bison. There was bison signs, but we haven't seen any bison. But anyway, we did stop at Fort Nelson, and that is the tribal First Nation. And so, other than that, we're headed to Liard, to the hot springs.